For years, the intensification of agricultural production systems has led to an increased reliance on external inputs, loss of biodiversity, and degradation of natural resources. Agroecological approaches have been found to reduce land degradation, build soil organic matter, and increase the sustainability and resilience of crop production systems. Murang'a County boasts of having 6 agroecological zones in which agriculture is the main economic activity. With a holistic transformation of its food systems aligned towards agroecology, it is anticipated that farmers' resilience and incomes will be increased, as well as restoration of soils and the landscape. It is against this backdrop that SNV Netherlands Development Organization, in partnership with the World Vegetable Center, set out to demonstrate and train farmers on more sustainable and environmentally friendly ways to improve farm productivity through agroecology. This has been made possible through the Greener Greens funded by Biovision Foundation.
The Greener Greens project is a 3-year project that's implemented in Murang'a, specifically in Kiharu and Kangema sub-counties. It was one of the counties that had started conversations around developing agroecology policies. We work in partnership with the World Vegetable Center, who are our research partners. We chose traditional African vegetables that have been really neglected by the community that we were working with. So our subset was ripe for us to conduct farmer trials. They'd give us clean evidence without any interaction with other projects or other participants.
Through a VBN Vegetable Business Network approach, the implementing partners championed farmers and stakeholders along the value chains to adopt the agroecology techniques.
A VBN comprises of a number of farmers and other actors in the value chain, that is the horticulture value chain, and serves as a main agent of change to the group.
I selected the groups that I knew initially they had some kind of knowledge about agriculture. They had their own activities that they were doing, so it was not hard for us to meet them, train them, and do the project together.
By training field research assistants who acted as trainers of trainers to the farmers, they were able to disseminate and demonstrate to farmers the agroecological approaches aligned with the project. The techniques were not limited to mixed and intercropping, crop rotation agroforestry, use of locally adapted seeds, biological pest control and management, use of green manure, and integrated pest management.
Our focus in a number of these ecological principles, from the soil and health management, from water use and water use efficiency and management, that our farmers can easily adopt.
In the agroecological plot is where we introduced organic fertilizers. We were preparing manure such as compost manure and bokashi manure. Most of them we were using the locally available materials.
Kifanya crop rotation, hizo zinakaa mzuri juu sio za ile aina. Tulionyeshwa mambo ya vile tunaweza panda cover crops, kitu kama sweet potato, vines hizo. Sasa kuna udongo inaenda.
We want to ensure that their yields are increasing. Their productivity per unit area is increasing.
With over 500 farmers trained and adapting to the practices, they have seen their productivity transform on vegetables, short-term crops, and cash crops such as coffee, tea, and macadamia.
We had targeted to have 100 farmers as a subset to do the trials. We ended up doing our farmer participatory trials with about 137 smallholder farmers. We were able to capture about 500 more farmers during the field days.
Venye napanda sipandi peke yangu, nawape kama huyo miti 5, huyo mwingine 10, kwanza kuwafundisha na wende ulime na muna hii, kama ni kupiga dawa unapiga na njia hii.
Mimi sikosi watu karibu more than 50. Tukikutana mtu wakati mwingine ananiambia mimi nilianza ile kitu na sasa nalima na ile ulinifundisha.
After the first trials, many other community members developed interest in learning, and so we got to recruit other non-VBN members. I have been able to train about 600 farmers in Kiharu.
Greener Greens project has successfully managed to offer farmers linkages to input suppliers such as Corporate Kenya Limited, Ecofix, and Organic Kenya Limited in supplying bio-inputs and pest management solutions to support the agroecology techniques trained.
We had to think about where they're gonna get the inputs so that they may be able to practice the new knowledge that we were giving them. And I linked up with the Organic Kenya. Of late, I'm managing to bring down like 60 bags per delivery because there is that high demand from the community, at the same time from the the VBN groups.
Where we found a niche where we can work with these farmers by way of providing them some inputs. They have even enabled other members who are not the members of the Greener project to be buying our product. When they put into their crops, especially for the vegetables, and even to the tea, they have seen a lot of benefits.
For farmers to transition successfully to agroecology, they need access to inputs. And we are still finding this actually as a challenge to bring the agroecology inputs closer to the farmers.
Through the enactment of an agroecological policy, Murang'a County is at the forefront to steer agroecological practices and conservation in the country.
From 2015, we started pushing for registration so that wherever is possible to turn production and reduce poverty in Murang'a, increase food security, be registered and first in terms of policy, then in terms of registration. And by August, before the election, it was passed as a legislative framework that will guide agroecology in this county. We are pushing for an agenda that was not conventionally taught in school. So SNV and the Greener Greens came in handy because they have helped us establish what we call farmer field schools.
Having other counties benchmarking with the work that we are doing in Greener Greens is very important in terms of spreading the word that agroecology works and convincing them to also develop an agroecology policy like their counterparts in Murang'a.
Agroecology has proven to be a sustainable frontier in enhancing farms' productivity, increasing food nutrition and security, and improving the livelihoods of the smallholder farmers. This calls for stakeholders along the value chains of vegetable production to work together in scaling up and scaling out these approaches beyond Murang'a to ensure there is food security for the end consumer and boost the nutrition of farmers and their families.
Na yenyewe wakati tumeanza kufundisha namna hiyo na tukaanza kuikula, tukaanza kusikia iko na taste kuliko yenye tulikuwa tunapiga ndao, unaona?
Wakati community walijua zile method tunatumia, kwanza wanakuja wanunua zetu kabla waende kwingine. Kama tuseme kwa kilo moja ya spinach ama ya sukuma, yeye akiuza tuseme kilo moja ause 40 na mimi niuse nusu ya hiyo, niuse kitu 50, kwanza wananunua zangu.
We have received a lot of trainings na bado tumelinkiwa na other farmers wenye wanafanya the same thing. Tunaishi dunia yenye lazima tukue self-conscious of what we eat. Juu conventional methods of farming ni profitable short term but nalta damage in the long run.
The practices are sustainable because one, the farmers have been trained and they are cascading the practices even beyond the traditional vegetables that we are working with. Once we link them to the private sector and we've started stocking the agroecological inputs nearer to them, this is helping.
There has been that transformation from buying from the market, because especially on the upper Murang'a zone, where the commercial aspect is so much, to growing at the base level so that you can both save and provide your needs.